Hi everyone, this is Alex with BIMitUp. Today I'm going to talk to you about the evolution of schedules, and this is going to be a part of a series. And I'm going to tell you a story about those primitive Homo sapiens that used to work with AutoCAD and Excel to create schedules, and then how that evolved into AutoCAD MEP, and some of those Homo sapiens bypassed AutoCAD MEP and ended up working in Revit. In this particular chapter, I'm going to focus on that primitive civilization, and I was there. We used to work with schedules in Excel, and we used to create something called AutoCAD Blocks, which had attributes. And those attributes were similar to parameters in Revit families. And then what you would do is do an attribute extraction to create those schedules. See you in AutoCAD. Hi everyone, this is Alex with BIMitUp, where we help you with professional training and coaching in mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection systems, and Autodesk platforms like Revit and AutoCAD MEP. Let's get started. All right, keep in mind that in this video, we're going to focus on schedules, okay? We're not going to be talking about equipment. This is just about schedules. So right now I'm in the Daikin website. I'm looking at a VAV box. And again, anything that has to do with the functioning of a VAV, you know, the controller, actuator, the damper, all that we cover in a different video. Today, we're going to focus on schedules. I just decided to use VAV boxes for the schedule series. But anything that I show here can be used for compressors, pumps, air handling units, whatever you want. So let's jump into schedules. So for any piece of equipment, you want to have an ID column. So let's say this is the VAV1, and you're going to have a certain system that is being served from. Let's say in this case is air handling unit 1. You're going to have an area served, and let's say this is zone 1, and let's say this is level 1 east of our building, right? And this is just a made-up example. I'm just showing you schedules here. You're going to have a minimum flow that's going to be measured in CFM, cubic feet per minute. You're going to have a maximum flow, again, cubic feet per minute. You're going to have a certain static pressure or pressure drop, and that's going to be measured in inches of water column. What else? You're going to have entering air temperature, and that's measured in my country in Fahrenheit. Then you have a leaving air temperature, also measured in Fahrenheit. You're going to have a certain box inlet size, and let's say that's in inches, and that's this right here. You're going to have also a duct runout size. We're going to keep that in inches as well. We're going to have some sound data as well, so I'm going to insert another line here. So these two are going to be sound data, and then I'm going to have a discharge and a rad. So power, we're going to have kW. Let's see, so kW, we have our voltage, we have our phasing, and we have our hertz. And all this, I'm going to merge in center, and those are going to be our power characteristics. And then we'll have a manufacturer and a model number, and then maybe some notes at the end. So I'll just merge those two, merge those two, merge those two, merge this, merge this, merge this, 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 and this is going to be our VAV schedule. So let's assume we have two types of VAV boxes. Let's say this one has a range from 400 to 600 CFM. That's the range that I want to cover with this particular VAV box. And it's 0.55 inches of water column. My inlet air temperature is typically 55 degrees Fahrenheit. In this case, I'm setting at 85 degrees Fahrenheit leaving air temperature. My inlet size is going to be 7, and my outlet is going to be 10. For my sound data, I'm going to have 27 for discharge and 26 for radiant. And then power, I'm going to have 2 kW, let's say 208, 3 phase, and 60 hertz. And this is only if you have electric reheat. And let's say for manufacturer, let's say it's Daikin, since we were right there. And the model number is 12345. Again, this is not a video series about VAVs. This is a video about schedules. And then we'll have some notes. So let's say note 1 applies for this. And then we have VAV2, which is being served by air handling unit 2. Let's say the east side is served by AHU 1 and the west side is served by AHU 2. Let's say this is zone 2 and is level 1, but the west side. And then this one's a little bigger. It's a 605 to 800. And then the pressure drop is a little bit larger, as expected, 0.65. And my inlet temperature is the same, the outlet temperature is the same. The box size is a little bit bigger, it's 8, but the outlet is the same, 10. And then we have 27 for our discharge and 25. This is our noise criteria. And then as far as power, this one takes a little bit more power, it's 2.5. And it's the same service at 208, 3-phase, 60 hertz. And then it's a Daikin as well. I realize I made a mistake in the first one, so Daikin. Let me see if I'm spelling it right. Daikin. Yeah, Daikin. And this one's model, let's say 12346. It's a different model. And the notes, let's say the notes that apply to this are 2. And then we have, just to make it simple, I'm just gonna copy paste this. And this is for level 2 east. And this is for level 2 west. And this is zone 1, 2, let's say this is zone 3. And this is zone 4. Let's center all this. And let's take this guys and make them bold. And this is what we want to end up with. So let's study a few options, how we can create schedules and automate them. And that's going to be the purpose of this series. So I just fired up good old AutoCAD. I'm going to open a brand new drawing. I'm going to paste some geometry that I have on my clipboard. And then I'm going to place that line work on layer 0 because it's good practice to create blocks on layer 0. And I'm going to have my colors by layer. And I want to create a block, right? But before creating a block, I want to define some attributes. And those attributes are going to correspond to this column headers, okay? ID, system, area served, etc. So let's create a couple of them, and then I'm going to speed up the video. So to do that, to define an attribute, I go at def, and then I'm going to make it invisible. The tag is going to be ID. I'm going to prompt for an ID, that's pretty clear. And the default, let's say VAV1, actually VAVX. Okay, so that's going to be my default. Justification, this doesn't matter too much because I'm going to make it invisible. So I'm just going to hit OK, and I'm going to place it wherever. It doesn't really matter, like just around the VAV box. So let's say it's here. Now I'm going to define my second attribute, and that's also going to be invisible. And I'm going to call it area served. You don't want to have spaces. And I'm going to prompt for area served. That's pretty descriptive. And that can be a zone, you know, zone 1, zone 2. So I'm going to say or zone. Let's put it like that. Then default, whatever, let's just call it zone X. And I'm going to have that one say here, right? Now I'm going to do my minimum flow. And now I'm ready to create my block, and I'm going to include the attributes with it. So for that, I'm going to select everything from right to left, and I'm going to do block. And now it's asking me for a name, so I'm going to call it VAV Box. And I'm going to pick a certain point that is a characteristic point, maybe this corner or maybe this center. You know, I'm going to just click this center here, right? I can give it a description if I want to. So just variable air volume box. And I'm just going to click OK. And now it's going to ask me for each one of the attributes. So for this particular one, let's actually do the VAV1, which is this one right here, VAV1. So I'm going to fill up with these values. So the nodes that applies to is node 1, the model number is 123, the manufacturer is the best manufacturer, the hertz is 60 hertz, the phasing is 3-phase, the voltage is 208, the kW for that particular one is 2.0, the noise criteria is 26. I noticed that what happens is that apparently I cannot have more than 3, 4, 5, 6, more than 8 in the same screen, so I have to go next to find the other ones. So on the discharge, I said I was going to have 27 decibels, and the duct runout size for this one is 10 inches, and the box inlet size is going to be 7 inches, and the leaving air temperature, we said it was going to be 85. The maximum flow is going to be 600, and the minimum flow is going to be 400. Let's see what else we have. Then the area served, we said it was going to be zone 1, and that's level 1 east. But for now, let's just keep zone 1. And then the ID is going to be VAV1. And now we don't have any other screens, so we should be done. Let's click OK. And now here we have our block, right? It seems like a standard block. If I do zoom extend, I just see the line work because I made all my attributes invisible, right? But then if I double click on my block, I see all my attributes and I can change them at will, right? I can come here and I can change this value from VAV1 to VAV2, right? Let's just go back again and change it back to VAV1. Now let's suppose we have 4 of those blocks, or let's say we have 3 of those, right? So we have 3 of these, and now I'm going to create another copy, and this guy here is going to be VAV2. So the nodes that apply to this one is actually just one node, node 2. The model number for that one is 124, and the manufacturer is still best. 60 hertz, 3-phase, 208, but now the kW is a little bit higher because it's a larger unit, so it's 2.5. And the noise criteria is 25 for the radiant and 27 again for discharge. Now the duct runout size is 10 again, but now my inlet is 8 inches. Keep going down, temperature leaving and entering 85 and 55, it's fine. The static pressure for this one is 0.55, and I just realized that I must have made a mistake in the other one, so because I have a 2.0, so let's fix that. kW, yeah, here it is, static pressure. So this static pressure for the small unit is 0.55. So let me fix that, 0.55. And then this one here is also 0.50. Actually, let me just delete this too and copy it over twice. So let's say you have 3 of those in your project. Actually, we know that we have only 2 in our project, right? For level 1, level 2 on the east side. And then this one is for level 1 and level 2 for the west side. So again, I double click here. This is, if I go to my identifier, this is VAV1. And then this one here is VAV2. So let me change that to VAV2. Let me copy it over. So I'm done with my 4 VAV boxes. I'm just going to save my drawing. I'm going to call it VAV schedule. So this is my model content, right? I have 4 blocks, 4 different VAV boxes. And I would like to extract that data, those attributes that I filled in, right? And to do that, I can come here to Express Tools and then go here to Export Attributes. And I'm going to give it a name. Let's call it VAV Schedule. That's a TXT file. I'm going to select everything that I want to include in that extraction. I'm going to click Enter. So notice that the VAV Schedule.txt was created. So let's go ahead and open it up. If I were to open it in Notepad or WordPad, it would just be a text file. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is open it with Excel. So I have it right here. And I'm going to right click on it and open with Excel. And let's see what happens. When I open that, this is what I get. The only problem is that things are not organized the way I would like them to. I would like the ID to be the first one, so I could rearrange this in Excel, or maybe we can modify our block to display this properly. Let's see if we can do that. And I already organized them. If I double click, you'll see that. And the way you do that is you type Batman with 2 T's, and that's the block attribute manager. And then you can take each one of those parameters and either move down or move up. Okay, so that's how you organize them. But to avoid that, at the beginning, just invert the order in which you create the parameters, because it's going to flip it on you. And if you find this content valuable, there are many ways you can support it. You can like the video, you can leave a comment down there. It really helps me out. You can subscribe to the channel, you can review it on Google, you can join our Patreon community and support it directly. You can give super thanks. There's a button somewhere down there. Buy me coffee, keeps me awake, keep doing videos. As simple as that. You can spread the word with coworkers on social media, and you can recommend my services so I can help them out.